In this video I'm going to go behind the scenes on how I made my Lazy Animator promotional short for Reallusion's Cartoon Animator Animation at Work contest. Okay, so here we have the project file for my animation in Cartoon Animator 5, and just to get started, this is my original avatar of myself that I created. The face is my original drawing, which you can see here. Originally drew it in Clip Studio based on this photo. It took me about 4 tries to come up with the end design that you see there, and I then adapted that into my final avatar, which looks like this. That's the actual face from Cartoon Animator, and as you can see it's using a G2 character body on that. The face itself is a morph based head, but it's got sprites for the front and back hair and sprites for the eyebrows, and these glasses are attached as an accessory. For this particular project I recolored the whole character using the render styles, the G2 characters. That's why I used this version with the G2 character body, and that I tend to use in all of my print promotion. And as I said, I just went through and recolored everything using render styles, so you can see all through here, even the head itself, even though it's a morph based head and not a sprite based head. You can actually recolor that through render styles as well, so you can see all the settings have been changed here. And that's how I got this whole thing to look like a whiteboard character. The whiteboard animation is done using full form deformations, so you can see here what I've got is rectangular shapes, and if I was to select that and then recolor it just for the purpose of this demonstration, select the fill. We'll just give it a slightly grey colour like so. Go OK. Go OK. And now if I select FFD motions, so you can see that's before I do any of the work on it. And once you start animating with the hands, it's just a case of shifting the points of that shape out of the way as my hand with the marker is following around each thing. So that's pretty much how this whiteboard technique works. Undo that, so that's white again. The hand itself is just a photograph of my own arm holding a marker. You can see there, that's my own arm holding a marker that I took a photo of and then removed the background on. And if we look at how that's rigged, take it into the composer. It's just a prop, imported in as a prop, and you'll see it's got 3 bones here, and just one for the arm, then going from the wrist to the pen to the point on the pen. And it's actually got spring bones from the wrist down, so if I open up the wrist spring bone here, you see just from the wrist down, and that's fairly important for this effect to really sell that this is being drawn, because the spring bone, if we move it around, you can see it gives it that little bit of flexibility, and it makes this look a little bit more like a real hand and less stiff, which is what I think makes doing whiteboard animation in Cartoon Animator look just that little bit better than dedicated whiteboard animation software. I haven't seen any whiteboard software that actually puts any kind of spring bone into the hand. They're all keeping the hand pretty much like a static prop. But because we've got the spring bone in the hand, we get this nice extra bit of movement that makes the hand seem just a little bit more lifelike. And it's just using the stiff preset here so that it doesn't flop around too much, but just enough to give that little bit of the effect there. And the other thing you'll notice, or the other crucial part of animating a whiteboard animation hand, is as you go through the animation, you'll notice, if you look closely, I'm not drawing every single line. And when you get to like a really detailed area like this area with the eyes, in the motion track, I'll show you what's being done here. I have to open up the 2D prop key editor, and the hand is being animated from this bone only. That's the only bone that I move around, so you can see bone 1 in the track down here. All of these frames are in it. But you'll see a lot of these have got just transition curve of linear, which is the default, but you'll see every now and then I've got a stutter start on some of these, and what that does is it makes the hand shake around just a little bit more at the really detailed points, and it makes it seem like a little bit more is being drawn in that area than what is actually being drawn. So it's working to try and convince you that it's doing more than what it actually is, but that little stutter start is just shaking the spring bone around just that little bit more, so it sort of sells that idea that something is being drawn. So that's that, and the last thing to sort of talk about in the project file, get rid of the timeline here, is the reason why I wanted to do this particular promotion was or promotional video was that something I haven't really seen with whiteboard animation is actually having the thing being drawn come to life and animated. You don't see that a lot in dedicated whiteboard software, so that's what I wanted to demonstrate here. So you can see as soon as the head's been drawn, we've got it starts speaking and moving even though the rest of the body is being drawn. And then you see the arm coming up there as well. Just adding to the effect and doing something a little bit different, I feel, with whiteboard animation. Obviously I recorded the voice for this, that's my own voice doing the talking. The animation is just mostly automatic lip sync. I did a little tiny bit of editing just where it wasn't quite where I wanted it. And head movement I just did by using the face puppet thing just to move it around a bit and get the eyes moving so it looked alive. I didn't want the character to be moving too much because obviously the rest of the body was still being drawn, but I just wanted that little bit of life in there. And the arm coming up, that was completely keyframed, custom keyframed from scratch, and that was just keyframed using the 3D motion key editor for G2 characters, which made that pretty easy to do. Bit of sprite switching in the hand just to get a bit of variation in how what the hand is doing, rather than just having the same sprite the whole time. That's pretty much it. From there I exported this out of Cartoon Animator, put it into my editor, which is Shotcut here, and it's not really anything special to show in here that I did. Obviously added some sound effects, marker sound effects to make it better, and I sped up the first. It was going just a little bit slow up to the point where the character starts talking, so I sped that up a little bit, and then just added on the titles at the end there. And obviously I put in my certified trainer logo, just because this is a promotional short for my Lazy Animator website, is promoting my tutorials for Cartoon Animator. And I think the last thing of interest is this bit of theme music that I put in there is actually made with a new AI music generator that will actually sing songs and stuff for you. The lyrics, I used a combination of ChatGPT and my own modifications of what that came up with. These are like various lyrics that we came up with between me and ChatGPT. Here we go, just brainstorming in here with ChatGPT to come up with some kind of lyrics. And then I used this AI thing. Here we go, this is called Suno AI, and it's completely free, and it will make short 20 to 30 second songs just out of any lyrics you want to put in there. It's all on a Discord server here, and you can see here, this is my final test run through here. I put that in, and it's just completely random the type of music you get. So these are two versions of it. You can see there, and this is a second version of it. And that's pretty much all it does. It does all different styles, but I haven't worked out if you can actually direct it to do a particular style. I thought it was something interesting to try, and just a sort of different way to end my animation there. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this quick run through on how I made my animated short for Cartoon Animator and Reallusion's Animation at Work
competition. If you do want to learn how to use Cartoon Animator, don't forget to check out the lazyanimator.com website. If you want more of just hints, tips and resources that are very heavily leaning towards Cartoon Animator, then check out my Animation and Video Life blog at animationandvideo.com. So that's it for this video. Till the next one, bye for now.